is your name?
My name is Elizabeth. You can call me Elsie.
And where were you from originally?
Originally from China. It's actually southern part of China.
Can you talk about your journey or your family's journey to the United States and what motivated you or them to
Okay. Yes, my family is actually, I come here for my PhD studies, so that's common for most of my friends. And what motivated me to here is, I would say it's freedom and the pursuit of happiness and equity. That's just like the value we learned when I was a college student in China.
And what have you learned since you moved here?
Well, I would say exactly the same thing. You know, I was here for study, and I got my PhD degrees, get a job, and have my family finally settled here. And I joined all those community events, like the committees and the nonprofit organizations, and I just feel so happy in Lexington.
The most challenging part was when you moved in?
The most challenging part, I would say, initially it's a language. Language is a big barrier. Even though I was considered one of the best English speakers in 1990s in China, I still feel it's very difficult when I first come here. And we have to, record what the professor says. Otherwise, I would not understand what he's saying. But the other thing is just like the value change and the loneliness. But when I first come here, I don't have any friends. Well, I have a classmate, schoolmates. They help me to finding the apartment, but that's all I can, get from them because they're also busy, and I'm also very introverted at that time. So I'm afraid of seeking help from other people.
What did you do on those days where you were homesick or lonely or things like that? Were there things that you would do to make yourself feel better, feel more at home?
Yes, but I would not recommend it now.
Oh.
Yeah, because what I do usually, I just train, when I feel lonely, I went to the libraries. Fortunately, we have a Boston Public Library. They offer Chinese language books or whatever and videotapes, and I spend a lot of time for that. So I would not recommend at all. What I would recommend is instead making friends, go to church. That's actually what I actually got help most of the time after I leave here.
Is there a specific memory of your early days that stands out to you?
Oh yeah, definitely. I have too many. Yeah, I remember when I was coming to here, I already had my kids. So it's very hard for me to study here and with the kids back in China. I finally bring my kids with me here when she was only 3-year-old. And I was living in Boston's, the BU's, it's just like a house for female graduate students, but it's for single female graduate student only. Nobody can go to the floor third above. Oh. Yeah, but when the manager knows I have a young baby and I need time to find a new apartment, she's okay to allow me to bring my kids with me. So that's great. And also remember, I was have interview in Framingham. That's in 1998 or probably at that time, and I was just late. And because the train's late, and I have to go back to Boston to pick up my kids from kindergartens or from I think that time, I don't remember it's a kindergarten or it's a daycare place. So I just feel so worried. And then I'm just like, who can help me? I was trying to call a cab. I don't even know how to call a cab at that time.
Yeah, Uber wasn't a thing then.
That's it. And unfortunately, a veteran from Puerto Rico, he offers help. He said, I can just give you a ride, so can I send you back to Boston? Well, I know it's not we should not do it today because it's not safe. But this still, I feel so warm when I get this help. I was fortunate.
What dreams and goals do you have for the future, either for yourself or your family?
Well, first I want, my kids can have a good job here. She can make friends, build a family here. That's one thing. And the other thing I want is I would help, people who love United States and cherish the American values can join us. This is just like because I have an adopted daughter. She was in China, and she was 8 years old when I adopted her. The reason I adopted her is first, I want to have a daughter, of course. And the second is because I don't want my son to feel lonely. And because I really love girls, so if I give birth to my own daughter, I might just ignore my son. That's why I decided to adopt my daughter. She's the second child of her family, second daughter actually. So at that time, China is still one child policy. And originally I thought about adopt a baby from the orphans, but then we ended up adopt her because I want to invite her to be our family. But the problem is she has her biological parents. So it's very hard for me to get her here. First, I applied for the visitor's visa, and people said no, because she's going to be immigrant to the United States, so they cannot grant her visitor's visa. And I asked the lawyer whether I can just apply for immigration direct for her. They said no, you have to live with the girl physically for 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah, because that's the immigration policy. And even though we have the custodian, official custodian for her, and in Chinese law, she's our daughter, I still cannot apply the immigration visa for her. So finally, I end up saying, well, maybe we can try the advanced parole. So the lawyer told us that it's difficult, but we still try that. And the answer is no, because they say the humanitarian parole is only for Muslims. So my daughter, she's only 8 years, so I cannot say, oh my gosh, she's something like, she need a political protection, whatever. So it's very difficult for us. And we end up leaving her at a private school in China. And that's 2000, something like around that time. And the private school in China is very primitive, and most of them are just like those people who are rich at that time, and they are not able to spend time with their kids, so they throw their kids into the private school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And we cannot, continue that because we find, it's hard for a girl to live there alone. So we finally sent her back to the place that her grandparents lives. So the grandparents help us raise her. And even today, we can, she's married right now. The only fortunate, I think, is because we insist her to get education. So she is educated, and she married pretty good right now. She has her own child, but still, it's hard for us to, to have a
really difficult,
girl.
especially when you've never stopped fighting for your daughter.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
Final question. What would you tell your younger self if you ran into her right now?
I would say, just don't give up. If you want to do something, do it, and be prepared.
My name's Sudhir Jain.
Where are you from?
I'm from